All right. What's up, y'all? Slip Counter Podcast, 1/5 of the big team that is Slip Counter Podcast. What's up with everybody? I'm your host for the night, JR the Golden Boy. I can't do it like Bing, but damn it, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna take it back to my older days when I was in the house. I used to do videos like this and sit inside I would sit inside the store and do the videos. Everybody told me I should bring that type of stuff back or whatever. But man, shout out to the boxing voice, man. Shout out to our sponsors too. Big Roy up at El Paso. Um, Route One, they always look out for us. Shout out to Kanishi Bad Headphones, always looking out for us. And the boxing voice always shows love. Stream the Pour That Way podcast, they always show how big ain't. Mr. Sean, they always show us so much love. But I was watching the boxing voice earlier today, and I was thinking about the T.O. and Josh fight. What can happen if both guys, either guy loses? The first thing that came to my mind is I remember Andre Wood said a while back, he said, people don't understand what's at stake with losses and bad performances. When you lose, your whole pay grade can get cut in half. And I always try to put that out there, try to tell people that this can happen. When this happens, this could be the ramification of it. This is what we want to be in. What happens next? And I never understand it why people don't fully understand that, but you're gonna see that this weekend because you got two guys who are coming off of bad performances. You have T.O.'s coming off of a string of performances where people felt like he's been off ever since. It's like that curse. Like everybody was losing. As soon as they would get their belt, they would lose. As soon as they get their belt, they lose. As soon as they get their belt, they lose. The first defense from the 54-pound class down to the lightweight class. They would get their belt, they would get some type of unified or undisputed, and then lose it the very next fight. So I'm wondering what could be going through his head now. He has his father there. He said he's not changing the trainers. I watched the whole interview with him and Josh going back and forth. I watched the body language. I watched all of it. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out because he wants everyone to feel like, yeah, I'm still Teofimo Lopez. I'm still the baddest dude out there. And that once makes me want to know that is he too stubborn to change? Because there is no, if you watch how he's been acting, like, it's like, okay, you want to stay confident. There's no doubt on that. You want to stay confident. You don't want to wilt under that. But we're not gonna just gloss over like you wasn't having that look on your face, leaning on the ropes, and didn't say, "Man, what's going on with me? Do I still got it?" And your team, you can't, he can sit there and bull job it all he wants. But I heard his team say, "Nah, man, don't think like that." Whatever. They were dead serious. They were dead serious. There's no way no one's gonna tell me that he was. Oh man, no, that was just one of them moments where fighters try to sit there, be bigger, don't show no cracks or whatever. But guess what? He gonna sit there, make up the lie, and say, "Well, I always see the red light. I've been trained to see the red light and all that stuff with cameras in front of me." Bull. He wasn't thinking about that camera. He wasn't thinking about that camera at all. That man got a lot of mess going on with him right now. That's been going on with him for fight after fight after fight for a while now. That he's had to suck it up, whether it was injuries, outside the ring stuff, corner stuff. He's always had to suck it up, and he's always performed. And then it seemed like it hit a certain wall now. And now it's like, okay, I don't know because it looks mighty stubborn to me. Like, all right, I'm not changing nothing. I don't want to change nothing. I'm gonna sit there and just do me. I'm not changing nothing. I'm gonna keep it the way I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna box and just do this. Like and I'm not changing my team when everybody and their mama know that team needed to be disbanded already. That team he needed already to either add a voice or whatever. Because there's no way you're gonna tell me that your dad's gonna say the right things to really help you in these moments. Because it's been obvious that all he tells you to do is just get rid of this guy. Why is he still in the ring with you? He doesn't tell you how to get to how to fix the problem, how to change the problem, how to break down this problem, how to set it up for this round, how we gonna sit there set this up for the next 2, 3 rounds. I have not ever seen him do that in the worst of moments when T.O. needed it the most. Even the Cambosis fight when he was in there with somebody much smaller than him, sharp, quick, but nowhere near as explosive. Quick puncher, like it'd be very quick twitch, but Teofimo on a whole nother level with explosive and everything, and he could not for the life of him sit there and just, hey, sit him on a stool. If I was his coach, sitting him on a stool, but we're gonna go by corner. We're gonna go through each aspect with Teal, then we're gonna go to Josh Taylor. Teofimo, one of the problems is corner. Sits down on the stool, and when he sits down on the stool, he took that big right hand. He looks embarrassed. He looks upset. He didn't want to show it. It's cool. But then you see him looking at his dad, and his dad had nothing to say but why didn't you get rid of this guy? Why is this guy still there? This guy has no reason to be here. Get rid of this bum. What was this other? He had nothing to say to him. When he could have easily said, hey man, let's slow this round down. Let's slow it down a little bit. Hey, I need you to go back to your jab. I need it fat. I need you to just sit it. And if you need to, I need you to work on this jab the next round. We're gonna sit do it for one round. Next round, I need you to go out there. You're gonna start walking this boy down. But when we walk him down, we're gonna sit there, we're gonna set these traps to bait him in. Since he feels like he could come in on the inside with us, we're gonna let him come in here. But every time we get into a clinch, I need you dropping your weight on him and walking this board. Make him feel how much bigger you are. Make him know that you're in here with a welterweight for real, for real. How much bigger and naturally stronger you are. And then every time he throws, we're gonna counter his counter because he wants to sit there and think he can get the lead off on you. That he can get in and out. Didn't hear none of that. Nothing of that. I mean, we didn't hear that as he was coming up, but it was worse. It was worse as he fought. He really showed his head when he fought Gamboa. But then you go past that fight, he moves on. He continues to go on, and he fights Sandor Martin. He won on that fight. And I don't know why he couldn't sit his son there and say, look, hey, instead of just leading with your lead foot and just following, I need you to just plant the front foot. We're just gonna pivot with him and step. Just pivot with him and just follow him. We ain't gonna let him keep moving. We're just gonna inch forward. Give feints as you do it so we can see what pattern he wanna slip at. Cause it seems like he wanna keep dipping. So we can see if this is what he's gonna do. Is he gonna keep dipping or is he gonna pull and dip? What's the pattern? Because I think we got a right uppercut waiting on him. But right now, just keep inching forward and step your back foot to the right first. Because he's going one way. Sandor Martin was going one way all night. He knew Sandor Martin was going one way all night. Could not understand for the life of me. And you go one way all night, and all you got to do is step and just take your right foot and move it over to the right, and then and now you on him. But you just following him and letting him go where he wants to go. He could see you coming a mile away, and he in shape. He gone. By the time you make your move, he's out of the door. He already out the side door, back to reset, and he already got his point. That's why he was able to sit there and clip your leg, and with the hook, he falls. It was a slip, off balance shot, flash, but still gonna call it a knockdown because the glove touched. Not once did you hear his father saying those things. So for him to sit there in that interview and say, I'm not changing anything. My father knows this, that, and the third. Okay, so you're gonna be stubborn and really believe after we done seen this throughout your whole pro career. That in these moments, he does not have anything to say to you. Now you're gonna get in there with Josh Taylor, who, if he comes in there and looks anything like he's looked during his when he fought O'Hara Davies, that's the fight that put me really on to him. I mean, see him do the amateurs a little bit, international competition, but like the one that really put him on was when he fought O'Hara. If y'all don't, when he made O'Hara Davies quit, knowing how O'Hara Davies was coming up, he was putting out like he was backing it up with his mouth. It really was a big deal when you saw Josh Taylor make him quit. Josh Taylor made him quit. Then he fights Regis Prograis, and that eye swollen shut. And I still think Regis won it, but it was close. But you give it to Josh Taylor, but the performance I never really saw too many. I never saw no one fight Regis that way. He had to pay a price for it, but he fought him. He really went in there and fought him. If that Josh Taylor shows up and you got a Tiafimo who's going to rely on just explosiveness, just quick twitch counter, and doesn't rely back onto his fundamentals here and there, at least Josh may run him out of the ring with combinations, may give him a working over. But if he loses and Teofimo loses badly, it will be one of the biggest. What's the good analogy on like flash in the pan type of thing where he was there and gone type of thing. They'll start to put him in that category because you already hear on ESPN how they be talking about him. First, he could do no wrong. He was this, that, and the third. Man, look at this guy. He's so oh my world. The same people I never heard. I remember I heard a trainer say this to his fighter one time when I was in the gym. Man, get off the phone with that reporter, man. Come on, man. We got work to do, man. Because he had already been on the phone with him. So he's still on the phone. So we in the gym. All right, man. It's 4:30, man. We got to get to work. And he said, man, come on, man. We got to end. So the fighter doesn't want to be rude and be like, all right, I got to go train. So it went on for another about 10, 15 minutes. And he said, come on, man, let's go. And he's all right, so gets him off the phone. And I remember that trainer saying, man, the same, man, they don't care nothing about you. The same. They just gonna build you up to tell you, which sounds so cliche, but yes, they do. They build you up just to tear you down because, or they gonna sit there and talk about you and say how you the best thing ever, just to dog you later on when you lose. So to me, if he goes in there and he blows this, as big as his ascension was, it will be the quickest drop, one of the quickest drops ever in the fight game. And I do not want to see that from him because I feel like he has a whole lot to offer. He's always in shape. He's always coming to perform. But there's some tweaks that have to happen when you reach a certain level in this game. I don't care who you is. I don't care who you are. There's the higher you go, the more solid your fundamentals have to be. The higher you go, the more you have to be able to add more stuff to your game for when if you need to bring it out. That's just how it goes. And to me, it looks like that could be the last thing on his mind. He just think, man, I'm good. I'm gonna crush these guys like I've been crushing these guys. I'm Teofimo Lopez. I'm this, that, and the third. Ain't nobody gonna be able to touch me. Ain't nobody gonna be able to do nothing to me. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But now, on the other hand, you do have Josh Taylor. It's to me, I don't think it's as high stakes for Josh Taylor as it is for Gordo. And I say that because Gordo's had a few fights where this has occurred and how he's looked and, how he's performed. But Josh Taylor's show has shown up. Tough fights don't matter. He shows up. Josh Taylor come to get it. Josh Taylor gonna come in there. He gonna put in the work. He come to get it. He's swollen eye, hurt hand, hurt wrist, whatever. He coming to get it. He could lose this fight and still be, as long as it's not like the Catterall performance, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna get another opportunity. In my opinion, Josh Taylor will get another opportunity. Nobody gonna give a damn. Oh, he fought valiantly, he fought great. So to me, the stakes is not, it's high because you don't want to have you don't want to have the same look like you had with the Catterall fight where you looked flat. You didn't look sharp at all. Where nothing was there. Everything was just stale. He looked very stale, very, very stale that night. Every time he threw something, it just wasn't there. I don't know. It could have been when I saw the fight, it was like that hometown curse when you come back home to fight. that type of jinx. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? Maybe Jack Catterall, it was his night. He got his number. Because some guys like Shane Mosley were burning forest. Some guys just got your number. Which is what the guy is. He just got your number. Winky Wright, those type of guys, they just, man, that guy got my number. I gave him all. I gave all I want. I gave him all you want. I bought out every two, and I just couldn't get him because tall fighters always had Shane Mosley number. Guys that were taller than him always got him. Nine times out who weren't afraid to jab with him or wasn't afraid of his speed enough to where they wouldn't jab with him. Those type of that. So I'm like, maybe Jack Catterall was just that type of guy. Maybe he was. But if he were to perform that way, if Josh Taylor, even if he were to perform like it's another Jack Catterall fight, which I doubt, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Oh, I was struggling to make 40 again. It's time for me to go up to 47. This is still, even though we know he lost, we know he really lost, but it's still gonna be officially his first loss if he loses to T.O. So then guess what? Oh, I won't go to 47. He has the motor to go up there. He has the motor, he has the strength to go right on up there to 47 and make some noise. He could get, they're gonna give him the fights. They're gonna move him, they're gonna give him those fights. So what is the stakes here? In my opinion, the real stakes is it's all on Gordo. It's all on him. If Gordo don't show up, he could can it. Whatever fights he think he want, whatever fights he think he deserve or he can get, can it. It's not happening. So I don't know, man. This is gonna be very interesting. I can't wait to see those first 3-4 rounds. See how it comes out. I want to see if Josh Taylor gonna be able to get in Gordo's chest and move him. I want to see that. I want to see is Josh Taylor gonna be able to put his foot closer, inch it just close enough, because you already know T.O. right here, that feint, pow, pow, and it's just that quick. Flash, wow, and then going, wow, just that quick. It's a flash. Then on the same time, you wonder that is he gonna have the guts to be that close? Hey, shout out anymore. Like, is he gonna be close enough to shoot that shot and like not worry, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot this shot and I'm gonna stay right here because I'm gonna stay fundamentally sound. But also now I have to commit and smother him. And now I'm gonna muscle him and move him here. I'm gonna move T.O. here. I'm gonna move him here. See, can I get him now? I'm gonna try to put him in a fight that he ain't bargained for. That's gonna be the telltale sign. It's all gonna be in his. It's gonna be him. It's gonna be up to. It's gonna be up to T.O. to have to adapt and add those 3, 4, 5 shots instead of 1 and 2. That hard, explosive 1 shot, explosive 2 shots. Because if you really look, it's he'll throw 4 shots, but it'll be pow, 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 pow. It's never no pow, 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 pow. It's never no boom, 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 boom. It's never back to back to back. It's always a sequence of 1s and 2s. Space, then another 2 shots. That's how his career is always the explosion though of those 1 and 2 to 3 and 4 shots. But there's always a space in between after those first 2 punches to those next 2 punches every single time. Will he be able to run the numbers if he got to run the numbers with him? If he has to run the numbers with Josh Taylor? The pivots that he used against Lomachenko will have to be imparable with this night. Because if I'm him, I'm stepping all around Josh Taylor. Oh yeah, you want to lean? Come on, I'm gonna let you lean. Come on, touch this arm, and you go this way. Mock up, and just make him look stupid. So that's gonna be man. I just know just how this sport is, man. Your money, your pay grade gonna get cut, and that's gonna be interesting to see how this goes. But it's very interesting to see how stubborn T.O. is, because I didn't get the vibe of ain't none of your business. Like, I'm gonna act a certain way because it's just none of y'all business. This is what this is what me and my camp are gonna do. This is what we do. I didn't get that. I got the kind of like how Adrian Broner. Remember when Adrian Broner said, "Guys, I'm gonna be humble now." What he said, "Man, get the like that." Like, man, I ain't switching up even though it look like I should. Hell with y'all. Hell with y'all. Like, no, that's what it looked like to me. So I want to see how I don't care about the weigh-ins. I just want, and when I watch weighing, I watch to see who's bone dry, who looks weak, who I like to watch the body. Like I don't care about the face off and all that other mess. Like that stuff I don't care nothing about that. Other people be hyped off that. That junk is a waste of money to me. But to me, it's gonna be, I wanna see, it's probably gonna be a big ass spectacle of nonsense tomorrow with that. But, we'll see. But moving on, the next thing that, I keep hearing people talk about, and I got message they wanted me to speak on was, what do you think about the Earl Spence fight? Do you think, and I heard also it was a topic today on multiple shows, but especially the Boxing Voice, the Chinny thing. Who's Chinny? Is Earl Chinny? Is I hate that. I hate that. I hate that question. I swear I do. I cannot stand that question. I hate that question. I cannot stand it. When people sit there and talk mess and say, "Oh, this person ain't got no chin," or "This person is chinny." That, and now at the time it be people who ain't never been punched before, never been hit before, none of that. What's chinny? And I didn't even think of this, and I can't believe I didn't. But Mr. Nestor had said, was Trinidad Cheney? He was notorious for getting dropped early in Cotto's career. At 40, he was notorious for getting hurt and getting dropped, coming back and knocking out. So did that make him Cheney? I always break down the whole process of how you get hit on the chin. It depends on how in good shape you are. It turns out to be how good your vision is. You see the shot coming because eyes got to register to the brain that damage is coming. So either catch or prepare yourself, or brace yourself for impact. Yes, I've seen Bud hurt. I've seen Earl get hurt, and freeze. But I think they both got decent chins, especially Earl. Earl, I mean, but you do wonder, if he that because some guys get hurt in different ways where they could be hurt and they legs wobble. Some guys get hurt and they get more difficult to hit. Like Corey Spinks, when you were hurt, Corey Spinks, he was more harder to hit. It was hard to get your hands on. Yeah, other guys who get hurt, and a guy who's chinny is like real susceptible to being hurt. Is a guy who once you hurt him, he stay hurt. Like it take him a long time to recover. You can easily hurt him again. Those guys are, to me, what you call chinny. A guy who gets flash knocked down, that's not chinny to me. A guy who, okay, he get by, ooh, and snaps out of it, and he's right back on it, like the Gamble fight. That don't bother me too much because well, he got caught because he was being stupid. He was being a jackass and he got caught. But every time he got hurt, he snaps right out of it because he's in top shape. So it's a split second or whatever. But of course, in those split seconds, you don't want to get caught with nothing else. But he's always been right there, fine, and right back to it. Earl is a little bit different. When he gets buzzed, his whole body freezes. His whole body just stops. Like, and he can't do nothing about it. When you get hit like that and you get hurt and you can't do nothing about it, if Bud come up and follow up in that split second of time, because whenever Bud's been hurt, he'll be buzzed, but his vision and everything be clear. His legs will rock for a second, he'll snap out of it. But Earl, his whole body freezes. So that would be the interesting thing on who get touched first and who reacts a certain way first. I know Ben gonna watch this and try to go at me, going say, "Nah, man, chin this and chin that," because, and I always respect Ben about it because he played football at a very high level. Them shots. Some guys couldn't take them shots. You gotta be able to take them shots in football as well. Some guys can hit you right under the chin with their helmet, things of that nature coming from his sport. So it kind of plays a factor in his world as well. But at the same time, to me, these guys talking about, the chin, yes, it's going to be interesting to see who gets hit first, who reacts a certain way first. That's going to be the tell sign next month on the 29th. But to me, Bud that is still the smaller guy coming up. I don't care how strong he is at 47. I don't care how naturally strong he is. I do not care. You are still technically the smaller guy because even if Earl would have turned pro at 40, he still was the natural stronger guy. Even though he's always been at home at 47 his whole career, if he would have turned pro, because remember where Bud turned pro at. If Earl would have turned pro at 4, he's still the naturally bigger guy. So no matter what, you're still the smaller guy coming up. So it's going to be interesting to see, because Gamboa was a featherweight when still a naturally 26 pounder coming up when he hurt Bud. So it's like, all right, you hurt, if you get hurt by him, even though that one was coming from, the showboat, and then you relaxed and you got caught, he was still strong. Bud was still strong throughout. So, and then when he got hurt against Machine, like, he was still sharp. He snapped out of it. But that glove touched the canvas. I don't care what nobody say. Like, he got hurt. He got dropped. But the point was, he got up. He was fine. He snapped out. He was right back on it. He was immediately right back on it. Split second, right back on it. When you get hurt that way and you touch it, you snap right out of it. I'd rather have that, because at least if I have a fighter who gets hurt that way but snaps out of it, that tells me he still has a sense of everything that's going on around him. Just his legs left him for a second. He's just gonna snap right back out of it. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. But to me, I want to see how Bud takes those body shots when he gets on the inside. Who muscles who on the inside? I want to see, does Bud start the fight off on the outside? Does he come out southpaw? So many questions that I have that I've been running through my head about this fight. How does he respond to certain shots where Earl just jabs him to the shoulder, jabs him to the forearm? How does he respond? How is his temperament going to be? With this huge, big of a magnitude of fight that dwarfs any other fight that he's had, and his mental makeup, does he get hit and just keep staying, okay, I just gave the process? Or does he go back to, which helps him but can also hurt you, especially with this type of fight, gets hurt and immediately he gets pissed off and wants to go and just go hard, and that don't always go well. So, and with Earl, I want to know, what if Bud lands that left hand? What if he lands it? Because it seems like throughout his whole career, amateur, pro, I never really saw it. No, I really didn't see him in amateur. Really just showed up early in his career on Showbox. But when Earl get hit, he would free, like he would go, or he would go this way, like it would just, his whole body would just freeze. What if that happens, and the next thing you know, Bud leaps, and he just just immediately just, now I'm on you, that close, and he just lets off and doesn't sit there or be tired. Like, by that time Danny Garcia was tired. He was pushing hard. What if he's not as tired as Danny Garcia? What if he's more alert and not as in much pain and brutalized as Ugas was, and he winds up, oh, I'm on you. You ain't getting off the hook. I'm going for the flat line. I'm a flat line you. Because that's what both of them are going for. Both of them are going for that. They going for somebody, I'm gonna make you fall. That's what both guys are going for. If if you watch the timing of the Gamboa fight, the Machine fight, compared to Ugas, Danny Garcia, in the early fight in his career on Showbox, where both guys were hurt, it's maybe at the most a second with Bud. This with Earl, he's hurt for more than a second. He's frozen. There's more, at least 3 seconds sometimes of a span where everything stops. Sometimes it will be a mouthpiece, sometimes it will be this, that, and the third. Well, everything would just freeze. And it's like, hold on, what do you freeze for? And the fighter don't know what to do for a second, because he like, wait, did I thumb him, or the referee's kind of stepping forward, so he's not gonna jump on your guy. And you ain't getting that with Bud. He gonna try to flatline. If Earl turns this way and freezes, he's gonna try to cut his throat. But I know one thing: If Bud gets stupid and walks in thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get my lick back," or and I'm just go right for it, and I'm gonna try to do this, that, and the third, and he winds up getting after he gets clipped, and he thinks that mentality of I'm gonna go right at him and all this, he can it because there will be a follow up that Earl coming with. When that follow up come, that's when you gonna see who's the smaller guy naturally. He's like, oh yeah, yeah, I forgot Bud came up from 35. That's what's gonna go through a lot of people's mind if Earl cracks him. Earl crack him, and all of a sudden he'll say, "Man, I told you he's a smaller guy, man. I told you I threw out the MZ, get buzzed, whatever." That's what people are going to say because ain't no way in hell that Earl's gonna let him off the hook on that. And then another thing is Earl's gonna try to leave him with something because you know how sometimes Bud will pull and slide, and he'll go side to side to side to side to side to side, go back, sit. Earl's gonna pull and get him here and shoot and purposely. I mean, I really believe it. He's purposely going to hit him in the hips. He's going to hit Bud in the hips. I mean that. He's going to make sure he's gonna leave his. If I'm Earl, my whole thing that night, man, I'm gonna leave him with something. Each round, I'm gonna make sure I leave him with something. So round eight through 12 is mine because he's gonna be right where I want him to be at, where he gonna have no other choice but to fight. And his type of mentality, he's gonna stand there and fight, and he's gonna be right where I ain't gotta find him. He ain't gonna be moving side to side. He's gonna be right where I want him at. Stay right here, and I'm gonna just keep on, just keep ripping. Now I'm gonna shoot it not just at your hip. Now I'm gonna start bringing it up more. Now I'm gonna start bringing it here more. Here, the stuff that you know Earl does. That's gonna be a big thing. That's gonna be a huge thing. Um, Another thing I saw, what the hell is with this fight with Wilder and Joshua? What the hell? What the hell is it? What is it? Who want it? Y'all really want to see that? Because I'm not sure if I really want to see it. I'm not sure if it's really making me giddy. Like, oh man, like I'm talking about the Earl fight. How I'm talking about Earl and Bud. I don't think I'm on that like I used to be. I used to be talking about the Joshua Wilder thing exactly the same way. Damn near exactly the same way now thinking about it. I don't know if I feel that way no more. I actually feel like it's gonna be a crucifix. He gonna crucify Joshua, man. He gonna hurt him. He gonna hurt him bad. He gonna hurt him real bad. Really bad. And I don't care to see it. And everybody who knows I'm tired of these fights, man. These fights happening when these guys are in their mid-30s. And on their way out the door, I don't see Earl and Bud fighting at 39, 40 years old. I don't see it. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. And you are waiting till they halfway out the door, or they waiting as well till they halfway out the door to go see it because they still look good. But in a sense, it's like, all right, cool. I mean, once y'all pass 33 or close to, it's like, you wondering, is this gonna be what it could be because of that extra oomph that they could push with? You wonder about it, but times are different. Whatever, I get it. But with this Wilder Joshua thing, man, this fight should have happened 5 years ago. Same as the Earl thing. Should have happened so long ago. I mean, AJ should have fought Ortiz back then. It was a lot of fights. It was a couple fights that should have happened then. And now it's like, oh well, let's do this. And I'm sorry, it ain't really much dialogue I got for that. Because God, I love watching Malik Scott, who showed me a lot of love working with Big Country. It's long overdue. And the stuff that he got while they're working on, I'm like, what the hell took him so long to start working on that? What the hell took him so long? I'm so confused. Help me. What the hell? And it's the simplest stuff. It's the boxing the same old chicken, different flavor. That's just how it's always been. Now the stuff that he should have been working on, you working on now? What the hell making you work on it now? Because it's Malik. I'm just confused. Like I'm not understanding. How? 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 And with those new skills, I ain't got AJ lasting, man. I got AJ getting hurt pretty bad. Pretty bad. I never forget one like hard work always told me, man, since I was a little kid, man. You got sneaky pop. Guys always tell me that. Even recently, like man, you got sneaky pop. You never know what June gonna throw that's gonna be hard. Because I was always told now everything gotta be hard. Sit there, set the guy, rock him to sleep. So many different ways you can set it, and then you put the speed, whatever. But there's just some guys that can separate you from the consciousness of the earth, that can damage you for life, that can make you pay a price for this. Whatever high magnitude of this fight is, make you pay a price. Wilder's one of them guys. Only a few of them guys come every 10 years in whatever division it is. And I'm sorry. When AJ's hurt, he's hurt and he stays hurt. When he gets hurt, it's like he gets hurt even in the gym, which always was a big thing to me. Good shot is a good shot. No matter what, no matter where you're at, no matter what gear you got on, whatever. But of course, it's still bigger gloves and a headgear, and some guys like to wear thicker headgear, whatever. But it's still okay, extra, 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 cool. But at the same time, he was getting not buzzed, but really hurt. I was hearing stories, continuing on. It's like, okay. The amateurs, people told me stories. Like, yeah, man, before you started watching it, I remember this, that, and the third happening. And the amateurs. And even with the Klitschko fight, when he got hurt and his body rocked, man, it was hurt. Only thing that got him up was this, nothing else. And he got through it and got his ass back to that corner, snapped back out of it. But whenever you've seen him hurt, he stays hurt. He can't recover quick. His body does not he does not react well to being hurt. Instinctively wise, instinct wise, and body wise, he does not does not go well. And you put a guy with the dog in him that Wilder has a heart that when Wilder's hurt, like Wilder will be hurt, he'll know he's hurt, but his body will stay standing. You won't see, I rarely ever see his legs like really do a dance. It mostly be him trying to get out of it. Like he'll put his hands up and it's like, come on, body snap out of it. And that same guy hits Joshua. What do you think is gonna happen? With the performances that have led up to this point, and especially the performances of Joshua the last few fights, I'm sorry, I ain't got it happening. And no matter what, if you're a part of I don't mean the fans, I'm talking about his actual team, like Joshua's team. If you're a part of his team and he goes in there, you biting your nails the whole night. I don't care who you are. Because oh God, all right, we got 6 more. 6 more. Because if you know him, man, he's susceptible to get hurt at any time. And if he gets hurt, he's gonna be in trouble. And this isn't good. And you're in there with a guy that no matter what, it's not even, oh, anytime this guy hits me, he can hurt me. No, this time, anytime this guy hits me, I could be out and be having a pin light in my eyes the next thing I remember. Nah. No. I don't see it. But to maximize the revenue, that fight should have happened 5 years ago. I'm sorry. Like, that's being generous. And so many things that happen now, and there's so many guys that's gonna be coming up, young guys that contenders that are coming up now with better skill sets, sharper instincts that move with better coordination that are going to take him out. And guess what? Wilder will still probably be there because even though he isn't the best, we all know Wilder is not the most coordinated guy at all. But he got enough coordination to put that to lay that wood on you. As soon as you throw that brick, that's all he needs. And no matter what, the last thing to go is your power. And if you can stand there, and the thing is, it ain't no short shot. Some guys they strong shots, they short shot, whatever. His whole thing is the sprint. It's the first thing you're taught. When the first combination you're taught, stick, keep it long, bang, measure, measure, brick, brick. Measure, measure, stick, break. That's what he was taught. So now, no matter what, he has even more longevity. Then you add what Malik Scott he's putting here, move control you here. Now he got him control, putting it in controlling the guy. Malik Scott got him pulling, stepping it, dropping brick. He got him pulling, stepping over, bing, bing, step off. Everything that I've been saying for like the past 7 freaking years, bro. It's frustrating. Like everything that I've been saying. He got him doing now. Better late than never. But you got him doing it. There's a good chance that no matter what, going to sleep, man. Going to sleep. I'm sorry. But for me, y'all, I'm gonna call it. Hope y'all enjoyed this quick 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It's all love to y'all, man. Until next time. Shout out to everybody. Love you guys. Till next time, man. I'm out this joint. I'm going to sleep.